Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the #1 sports podcast, broadcasting Sundays at 9 a.m.-ish in Sacramento, California. Sports Talk 916. Now here are your hosts, Greg Bowl and Coach Greg Barroso.
Good morning. It's Sunday, July 7th at 9-ish, 06. Today is National Take Your Daughter for a Walk Day today. And it's also National Dive Bar. So for some reason I thought Alec or Oscar would appreciate at least one of those.
He could walk dive bar.
Yeah. Don't do both though. Your daughters are both too young. It is Sports Talk 916 time, and that's where you're tuned in. I'm Coach Greg. Up there is Mr. Chief, Greg Bowl. And together we're the two-headed monsters of Greg that we call Sports Talk 916. What's happening?
Not much, man. Another Sunday.
Another Sunday with nothing to talk about.
Right. It's funny, today's dive bar day, because last night we went to one before we went out, and it was fucking terrible.
Where'd you go?
We went to the old Sharon's Lounge. Now it's called Suite 9.
Where's that at?
Coloma and Vehicle Road. Over by that Wiener Schnitzel over there. It's a really
okay. Oh, yeah.
But, it is what it is. Found out last night that plastic darts can, in fact, penetrate skin.
Oh, nice. That's good to know.
Got stuck in the back with a plastic dart last night.
Nice.
That was interesting.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Who'd you piss off?
It wasn't my intention, but I didn't piss anybody off. We were all just fucking around, and my buddy decided he wanted to throw a dart, and well, it stuck.
I thought maybe you pissed Sheena off or something.
No. Definitely didn't do that. But yeah, it was a decent night. No complaints.
Cool.
What's up, PK? TJ is on. Mike, Oscar. How do you guys? Appreciate you all being on. Basically, we're going to do a lot of free agency recap, a lot of scenarios, a lot of talks about that if the NBA is broken. And someone made a really good comment earlier on our poll question yesterday of, if you're the Sacramento Kings, do you try to make a run at Russ Westbrook? And just got probably the comment of the day on that one. So we'll check that out here in a little bit. But first, I want to talk about, there's two big things or three things going on. One, last night, I don't know if you saw it. You had to have seen it by now. The 5-second knockout in the UFC matches last night. So
I was watching it. I turned away, and I turned back, and dude was on his back.
Yeah.
I was literally, you couldn't turn your head away and see any part of the fight. So
yeah, it was rough. Really rough. It was one of those things where it was like, holy crap. And it wasn't even that great of a move, let's just say. It was almost more like a shock value, like, I'm just gonna throw you off thing. And the dude that got laid out, he ducked his forehead. He flinched, threw his forehead down in like a cowering stance, and both knees just connected him square in the eye.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that. I mean, it was great, but it wasn't that great when it comes to execution. It was, like I said, it was more or less just. I don't know. It was crazy.
And then after the second two punches that he threw, once the guy was down on his back, I thought the guy was dead.
His legs were crossed. He was stiff. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I thought he died for sure. Excuse me. And then John Jones won and retained his title last night. Holly Holm got her face kicked off.
Yeah.
That was crazy, though. But there's that. So the other big thing that's going on right now, it's live. We're in the 50th minute. U.S. Women's World Cup final. USA versus the Netherlands at 0-0. Just past halftime. They're in the 50th.
51-27 exactly.
So we'll keep
right there.
Keep an eye on that as well as the show progresses. I'll go ahead and just make a little a little window here above our show window for my side of things. So if anything happens, I'll let you know. Should be fun to watch. Last thing before we get into basketball, and that's a little bit of baseball talk. And I know not a lot of people really want to talk baseball too much, but there's some interesting things going on in baseball right now. Some of the teams that are playing right now are there's no one that's catching them. There's no one that's stopping them. I hate to say it yet again, but the Dodgers are one of those teams. They've lost 2 games in a row, but I don't know what it is with this team, man. They're so impressive. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Until the postseason starts.
Yeah, and that's what I'm like. And until the postseason, we'll see what happens with them. But what's crazy is, there's some other teams there's been a lot of, as a Giants fan, we've been watching we've kind of had our eyes keen to other teams because of the fact that the trade market has been so focused on what the Giants are going to do. What are they going to do with Bumgarner? What are they going to do with Will Smith? What about Tony Watson? So you've been kind of watching other teams to see if there's any players that you really want to focus on. So like Atlanta's one of them. You keep an eye on Atlanta a lot because they have prospects coming out of their ears. There's been talks about the Giants even making a deal with the Dodgers. The Yankees are a team that the Giants were supposed to be making a move with. Minnesota's been interested. Like, all of this stuff's been going on, and we've been waiting for the news to break about the Giants, where they making these trades at. And without paying attention, I mean, it's still a long ways to go, but the Giants are only 6 out of the wild card. And they're starting to play better baseball. They're starting to hit the ball, timely hitting, showing some power. This Dickerson kid that just got called up is showing a lot of promise. Bumgarner's pitching well, except for last night. He took a liner off the elbow, but everything came back negative, so that's good. You have, Cueto coming back soon. It's one of those things where it's like the Giants, somehow Bochy, in a sneaky ass way, has got this team playing a lot better baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've won their last 10. They won last night. They're still 8 games under 500, but they're only 6 out.
So they just got off a stretch of 20 games in a row, and they went 11-9 in those 20 games.
Yeah,
so
it's huge.
Yeah.
And the teams ahead of them, I mean, they have San Diego, Colorado, Arizona. All of them are just ahead of them. We have enough head-to-head games there to watch. Hey, from the Philippines, thank you, man. I appreciate it. There's enough head-to-head games there. The Giants can make a push there. And then if things start to fall off, they're playing good baseball right now where the trade market could get sweeter at the end of this month. So, interesting to see. All right, here we go.
So do you...
Hold on. You go ahead and talk. I'm going to read this.
Oh, I was just going to say, I heard an interesting point brought up the other day, and I kind of like it, is the way they're playing, the way everybody's pitching. We have the best bullpen in baseball. Do we just hold tight and see what these guys can do and not make any trades and just see if they can make a stretch run at the last wild card spot?
And I think that comes down to how loyal does Farhan feel he needs to be to Bochy, because he's been on the outside looking in to see what Bochy's done here, but he's never been entrenched in it. Now that Larry Baer's back in his role with the team, I wonder if there's more of a push to maintain the homegrown guys for Bochy to finish out his legendary career. And if they're playing good baseball, I think that makes that way more likely. If over the next 10 games they get beat by 100, then it's not going to matter. Michael, that's a great idea. It's not going to happen. He says Bumgarner for Clint Frazier, a top pitching prospect, and take back Ellsbury's bad contract. the Yankees have already come out and said, even though Frazier is their fifth outfielder right now, they have no intention of trading the kid, and they don't feel that Bumgarner is good enough to warrant one of their top prospects, which I don't understand because it's Bumgarner in the playoffs. Like, anyone should be wanting him, but it is what it is. He also says with Chicago for AJ Happ. I'd be down for that one. So yeah, there's a lot of speculation. We'll watch it. The deadline is at the end of this month, so it's going to get a lot closer.
And there's no there's no waiver wire deals this year either. So
thank God, that's the dumbest shit in sports. Here's your trade deadline, and just kidding, now you have another one.
Right.
Like,
now,
okay.
Can't pick up anybody after July 31st, but we have 10 more trades, and Cy Young winners are going back and forth.
Exactly. So there's that. That's why I said that. I don't know. That's why you said. But yeah, so it'll be fun to watch. It actually kind of gives life a little bit back into baseball for folks like us that are, Giants fans, and the season's been watched already. So that'll be definitely interesting to see for sure. And then Barn Bomb, to answer your question, what your team's going to do with your pitching staff, I have no idea. I have no idea. The A's have a lot of guys coming back from injury. They have a lot of guys that are playing well, and I think you have a few guys there that are going to be trade bait as well to round out your team. So the A's are going to be very intrigued.
They always are. And if they could keep their guys off of drug suspensions, they'd be even better.
Right. Definitely, for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and let's talk about what everyone cares about. Last week was the NBA free agency show. There was we knew a lot of everything that was going on prior to the 3 p.m. start of free agency, just because the NBA's rules are broken, like, to the nth degree, and players and agents and managers or owners are all talking weeks prior when they're not supposed to. It's supposed to be a moratorium period, and the league year doesn't start until this time, yet half of the big names were already signed or intending to sign somewhere. So we talked about a lot of that. A lot of those went down. Obviously, the big ones, KD, Kyrie, DeAndre Jordan, go to Brooklyn. Nobody goes to the Knicks. Their big signing was Julius Randle for way too much money. Mike says the NBA is broken. I agree 100%.
Yes.
Jimmy Butler ends up going to Miami. Kemba Walker goes to Boston, which I think is a good move for them. They also got Al Horford. Derrick Rose goes to Detroit. I'm doing all this off of just memory. The Kings made two moves that we anticipated, two that we had no idea were coming. We'll get to those here in a minute.
Penalty shot. Megan Rapinoe's lining up for a penalty shot.
You sure it says? Oh, okay. I saw.
I'm watching it live.
It says decision on field was video.
They had video review, and it got called a penalty.
Gotcha.
So she's lined up right now, taking a penalty shot with her purple hair.
I love Megan Rapinoe. She's awesome.
And she scores.
Nice. 1-0 United.
1-0. 61st minute. 61th minute.
61th minute. Mike Barnbaum, real quick, in regards to NBA free agency, late last night I made a Western Conference playoff prediction on my Twitter timeline. Have you both seen it? No. Go ahead and put it here, and we'll read it and see what happens. Like I said, a lot of moves happened to the NBA. The big one that everyone was waiting for, obviously, was Kawhi Leonard, to see where everyone else would be going. And it got kind of dicey because the Lakers, who is it? It was the Lakers, the Wizards, and the
Raptors and the Clippers.
No. I'm talking about how things got dicey at the last minute because of the trades that were going on with New Orleans, the Lakers, and the Wizards to move players around to make room for Kawhi. Had he not made his decision before the night was over, they would have either had to change the deal, push the trade dates back, or cancel the Anthony Davis deals in order for them to be able to sign Kawhi Leonard. Ultimately, it didn't matter. He obviously chose the Los Angeles Clippers, and somehow, some way, and it's more proof that the NBA is broken, was able to convince Paul George and the Oklahoma City management to make a deal and move him to the Clippers as well. So it's just more fuel to the fire that the NBA is a broken system. It's a player-ran league. The managers have no control of what's going on, and I think it's only going to get worse before it gets better. What were your thoughts Friday night when you saw the Kawhi Leonard announcement, or did it even matter to you at that point?
It mattered to me in two ways. One, it stuck it to the Lakers, which is always good, and LeBron. So that's always a good thing. And two, it's shock value. Nobody expected it. So the shock value in the decision was, just created chaos. And that's kind of what I like with the NBA right now is let's create as much chaos as we can so that we can break the system and have them fix it. And the more I heard about the deal, though, it sounds like that there really wasn't a decision to be made. That they had made it, Paul George and Kawhi had made this decision at the beginning of last year and had planned it all along. That's what they were trying to get accomplished was them to the Clippers. So once again, it's just more evidence that the system's broken, and I love the chaos that it created. It's anything anytime you can stick it to LeBron and to the Lakers is always a good day for me.
So here's my thing though. If they planned that and that was their ultimate goal at the end, you said last year?
That's the reports that I heard was that they had gotten together at the beginning of last season.
So if that's the case, why the hell did Paul George sign an extension in Oklahoma City last year?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard.
Right. I'm just saying it just doesn't make sense.
I've heard it from more than one place too. So I don't know.
Barn Bum is doing his thing again. Patrick Kilkenny. Let's see what PK says. I thought we had a shot at a postseason berth this season, but after the addition of Kawhi to the Clippers, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for us to make the playoffs. What do you think? I think the Kings are right where. I think they're right where they were projected going into the season. That 7-8 seed. They're not going to blow the league up and jump. They're not going to jump too high. I mean, and I think it was like NBA.com or somebody. They put out a mock season like standings.
Oh yeah.
They had the Clippers number 1. They had, I want to say it was Houston at 2. And then they had the Lakers falling to 3, Oklahoma City at like 7th, or I'm sorry, Golden State at like 7th. It's like, where do they even come up with this shit? The only 2 teams that are gonna, fall a little bit. The Warriors are gonna fall a little bit, like maybe to the 3rd seed. Houston hasn't done really anything to get terribly better.
And they're a train wreck right now anyway, so
I think Houston falls down to like 3 or 4. The Lakers,
I think they fall down to 7 or 8.
The Lakers are going to jump into the mix. The Clippers are going to jump up. They were already a playoff team. You still have Portland and Denver to worry about. The only 2 teams that are really going to fall out of the mix completely is going to be Oklahoma City and San Antonio. I think both of them are out of the playoff picture completely.
I think I agree with you on Oklahoma City. You can never say that San Antonio's out of it.
But then you also have to worry about Utah.
Yeah.
The Lakers are going to jump into a playoff spot, so that knocks somebody out. That means the Kings have to knock somebody out as well. So tough to make the playoffs 100%. Just because the West is so deep, I think it can still happen. But another thing that happens, we've been talking about how the NBA is a broken system. This broken system may actually fix something that's been broken for far longer than a player-ran league in the NBA, and that's an imbalance league. That could ultimately finally fix the playoff system in the NBA. I think Adam Silver, after a season like this where there's 15 perennial playoff teams in the West and 5 in the East, you're going to see a top 16 playoff bracket. You're not going to see East and West. I think this is going to be something that ultimately pushes the NBA to break that mold. Because there's very well a possibility this year that you're going to have a not just under 500 team, but a very far under 500 team in the East make the playoffs. And there's going to be a chance that multiple 45 win or more teams in the West
I agree with you 100%.
Looking in, and that's going to be a huge problem.
Yep.
So while all of this smoke brings fire, it actually could bring something good out of it, which I think the NBA is long overdue.
Right. No, I agree with you.
Barn Bomb. Let's see what Barn Bomb says here. In April of 2020, you will see Sacramento, New Orleans, Denver, Houston, Utah, Portland, and both Los Angeles teams in the playoffs. While Dallas, I don't care anymore. I'm sorry, Mike. It's too long. Didn't read. Nick says,
did you see there was another post somewhere, and it had win predictions for the East and the West? Did you see that post? I think it might have been on Twitter. So they had the Kings winning 34 to 36 games this year. Goal number 2.
2-0 USA. They have only winning 34 to 36. Really?
Yeah.
They must be the same people.
I don't know. I mean,
the Warriors are going to be 7 seed,
right? Or out of the playoffs.
Or out of the playoffs.
Although I did give you my conspiracy theory a couple of weeks ago that the Warriors are going to tank. They're going to get the first draft choice, draft some stud college guy, or trade it for more veteran players and come back stronger than ever.
Yeah, probably. Houston was 1, Golden State 2, Clippers were 3. What I read, I read a different one. Guaranteed the Warriors fall past the 5th seed. I can see that happen. I think the Warriors fall further. Houston falls. San Antonio's out. Oklahoma City's out. That's what I agree as well. Yeah. Mark Ty says, I think the Kings can make the playoffs. We are a better team than Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Vladdy did a great job in free agency. Mark, I agree with that, but there's also other teams that are getting better that aren't leaving. That's only two teams that are going to potentially be out. The Lakers are taking one of those spots, and that leaves the Kings fighting with 3 other really good teams that were right there on the brink of it last year. Or they're going to be fighting with those previously playoff teams that are going to be still good. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, Michael says don't count on Pop. That's what Veroza said. TJ, who is San Francisco, agreed. I don't know who the fuck the San Francisco team is.
San Francisco's the Warriors.
No, they're not. They're Oakland, or they're Golden State. I'm sorry, they're not fucking San Francisco. They're dumb. They're not.
They'll be in San Francisco. They'll be in San Francisco.
Barnbomb needs to knock off that shit. They're not the Santa Clara 49ers. They're not.
Is that Barnbomb saying that? No.
Of course it is. Quinn Cook, Boogie, Durant, Iguodala, and Thompson most of the year. No way they only fall to the 3 seed. Yeah, that's a pretty good thing there, Mike. I think I agree with you on that one. They're still the Golden State Warriors. Stop it. I agree. Michael is a Warrior fan. He says our owner won't allow us to tank. I think that's probably a good possibility as well. So yeah, a lot of moving and shaking in the NBA. The Kings, they did make their moves that we knew were happening, which was the Harrison Barnes move. 4 years, $85 million. I'm drawing a Dwayne Dedman center out of Atlanta was the big that we felt was happening when we talked with Sam Amick, or when I was texting with Sam Amick on the show last week. That ended up being our big center splash, which I'm good with. I like it a lot. It's going to be one of those players that is well-rounded, and they signed him for cheap, $341 with a third year non-guaranteed or partially guaranteed.
I mean, other than Barnes, Vladdy didn't spend a lot of money. I mean, he got a lot of value for not, and some pretty good contracts. I don't think anybody's longer than 2 years on a player option.
Nope, except for Barnes, yeah. And not only that, but a lot of people, how loud will Boogie be booed? I think I'm pretty sure we need to call out Guinness again and try to break that record. The Barnes deal, a lot of people kind of cringed at it because Buddy needs an extension and he could get one here in a couple of weeks. Fox will be doing extension next season. Bogey can be extended next season as well. So a lot of people were afraid that money was going to hurt them. That deal is so front loaded that by the fourth year, it's only going to be counting to 15% of the Kings salary cap. So Vladdy did a great job on that.
Yeah.
The next move after Dedmon was Trevor Ariza, 2 years, $25.5 million, which was a great deal. I think you bring veteran leadership. You bring he's a better Iman Shumpert, and everyone was all over the jock of Iman Shumpert all season long. People are still talking about bringing Iman Shumpert back. You got a better Iman Shumpert. You got a championship caliber player in Trevor Ariza. So I love that move a lot.
And let us know if you expected that move.
No one did.
We were both shocked when that one came through.
And then the last one was Corey Joseph, 3 years, $37 million. Third year again was only partially guaranteed. So Vladdy did a very good job. Excuse me. Like I said, Buddy can be extended here in a couple of weeks. And it led people to talk about the Russell Westbrook thing. Do you go after Russell Westbrook? I put that out there just to see who would say yes.
Troll.
I absolutely do not in any way, shape, or form, unless they're just giving him to you, that you take him.
No.
Mike, we'll get to that in a second. Mike, Barnbaum, they're not San Francisco. Stop it. So, now I lost my fucking train of thought. Oh, yeah, you don't go after Russ unless they're like, hey, just take him. And then Mike Hawthorne, can we talk about how dumb Willie Cauley-Stein is for not wanting to stay in Sacramento? I didn't want him here, but he wanted out thinking he could have gotten better money. He didn't, not even close. Yeah, he got paid $2 million, $3 million, almost less than what Cousins got. And it took Cousins firing his agent and basically sitting on his thumbs waiting for something to happen, and he still got paid more. He goes to Golden State, and Golden State, the media down there are yucking it up. They keep posting that Willie Cauley-Stein is the new Warriors secret weapon. The pick and roll with him and Curry is going to light the league on fire, this, that, or whatever. And I would say that Cauley-Stein has the talent and the potential to be that player, but I don't even see the Warriors being able to pull it out of him. I think the only team that would have got what he should get out of him is probably San Antonio because of what Popovich can do. I mean,
right.
No disrespect
but I think
to Kerr at all, but man, there is no way that Willie Cauley-Stein and a Steph Curry combination are going to light the league up. He'll be better, I think, than he was in Sacramento in some regards, but there is no way in hell you're going to look at that and regret not signing Willie Cauley-Stein for $1 million.
I think I kind of disagree with you. I think that Pop could get out of Willie what he's capable of doing. I think if there's anybody else, it's Steve Kerr. I think that he can do that. DeMarcus didn't play any better than he did, not because he wasn't trying and he wasn't changing things, because he's still injured and he's not going to be the DeMarcus of old. I think Willie Cauley-Stein, if he plays his cards right, it's a good signing for him because it gives him a chance to grow, learn what it's like to play. All the same things we talked about DeMarcus last year and the advantages of signing at Golden State. So he very well could. And if he does, good for him. But
call him their secret weapon. It's a little,
no. I've heard a lot of those comments, and then I don't know who it was. It might have been Larry Krueger on KMBR was bringing everybody back down to reality that, there's flashes of brilliance, but never really anything that you're going to write home about.
No, I agree. And, and I have nothing against Willie Cauley-Stein. Like, I wish wholeheartedly that he would have lived up to what he was supposed to as that 5th pick.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He would have been fantastic running around with Fox long-term if he would have just got his head right. All right, let's see. We have a battle of mics going on here. We have a Warrior fan mic and we have Barn Bomb. So let's see how we go here. So Michael Darnell, he's new to the show. Michael's actually going to be I think we're going to bring him into the fold a little bit when the 49er season starts off because this guy knows his Niner shit like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
He says they were originally the San Francisco Warriors after moving from Philly. They only changed to Golden State because they moved to Oakland. Yeah, right. That is absolutely 100% true. Michael being new to the dynamic of Sports Talk 916, he doesn't understand that Barn Bomb is he's our linchpin of frustration, and it's just one of those things where he continually piles on things, and it's silly talk. Michael also says, I'm not sold on Willie Cauley-Stein yet, but our locker room seems to get the best out of players. I agree. And then Barn Bomb says the Warriors are doomed. Iguodala, Cousins, Quinn Cook, and Danny Green are all gone. Clay is injured with no timetable for his return. You can't be a playoff team with just Steph and Draymond. Danny Green was gone 5 years ago? 6
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a long time since Danny Green played for the Warriors.
Did he ever play for the Warriors?
I don't think he did.
No, because he was with San Antonio. Then he went to Toronto with the Kawhi Leonard deal. He's soft, he won't last. Green will bring out the best of him. If he's soft, he won't last. Yeah, I think that is an understated fact right there. Is that Draymond is going to hopefully bring out some toughness in Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, no, Danny Green, Cleveland, San Antonio, and Toronto.
Okay, there you go. Mike Hawthorne, Kerr hasn't developed a great big. Why would it work with Willie? He doesn't care about his bigs. Just a tall dude who could rebound sometimes.
Which is what they want him to do. And which is, if he could learn how to do that, would be perfect.
Oh, and we forgot they have D'Angelo Russell too, but he's going to be traded. I don't see the Warriors keeping D-Russ beyond December when they're allowed to trade him. It's just not going to happen.
I think they keep him until Clay gets back.
Yeah,
which that second option.
And they're saying that'll be around. That could be like December, January. If he'll start getting closer to back, and he'll probably be playing around February-ish. But if D'Angelo Russell is playing out of his mind come the time he can be traded, I fully expect him to be traded. They're not going to risk him falling off and losing some of that trade luster. So that's one of those things where we kind of just got to wait and see. But, the Warriors, now that we've talked about it, now that we've kind of rolled through who they still have, they're not falling out of the playoff picture. They're not falling past 5.
No.
Kerr's going to have those guys ready to go. Now, barring an injury, and that is applied to any team in basketball or sports.
Especially the Warriors, because they tend to be injury prone too.
Sorry, 1 second.
That's right. Their injury, the amount of games lost by injury with the Warriors is pretty substantial. So you always have to be sure with that. I think you're going to have to say the same thing about the Lakers too. That they're going to be top 3. They're going to be top 3 barring any major injuries. And, AD has shown that he's been pretty injury prone, and lately LeBron has been injury prone. DeMar
injury prone. I would just call LeBron getting older.
Yeah, but I mean that he's had some injuries. DeMarcus, who knows if he's going to be even more recovered from his stuff next year. He could go out early. They have a lot. They picked up a lot of talent, but I don't see it as a sure thing for them to be top 3 teams.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. One second. If we trade Russell, he could go back east, maybe for the Magic for Aaron Gordon, who's a Bay Area native from Oakland. I've been wanting Aaron Gordon for the Kings for a long time. So
yeah,
West. Bard Bomb for Greg and Greg, with free agency playing out the way it did, where do you see the Warriors? I think come April 2020 that they will not be a good playoff team. If I were a Warrior fan, I would be very concerned about the injury to Clay and how the roster is now constructed. No, I'm not worried about Clay at all. If it were Curry who went down with an ACL, I would be far more concerned about the Warriors' future than I am with it being Clay. Curry is the floor general. He cuts. He's all over the court. He has those runners and floaters in the lane. Like Curry needs to be as mobile as fuck. Clay, he's at a point in his career and his style of play, he can literally just be a perimeter guy, run around, pop off of a pick, take his shot and go. He doesn't even need to go to the paint if he doesn't want to, and he's still going to be Klay Thompson. And he's still going to bring a lot of what the Warriors are used to having. The Warriors are fine. Like I said, if it were Steph, I would be far more concerned if I were a Warrior fan than if it was Clay going down for sure.
Not sure they're strong enough to withhold a long playoff run with just Steph, but by that time, hopefully Clay will be back and have made some progress and got his feet back underneath him and would help. I mean, they've set that. The one thing about that lineup and that roster that they have now is there's a lot of guys that can set picks. And that's, like you said earlier, that's the strength of Klay Thompson. Really, that's the strength of Steph Curry. And with the way they have it set up now, they really could just put Steph in a corner. Nobody puts Steph in the corner. And just throw him the ball and let him take 3-point shots from the corner all day long. This might be better for him because he doesn't have to run around so much.
Really good question from Nick Hicks. How will the knee injury affect Clay as a defender, though? Will he really still be Clay? I think he'll be fine. I don't. He's young enough, and with the way medicine is these days, it's his first major knee injury. I don't think there's going to be a problem with him bouncing back.
And it's not
medical staff. It was a clean tear of the ACL. It wasn't something that was like super, super vigorous. He said he didn't even feel the pop. He just hear the pop, which normally that's like indicative of an ACL. The player or whoever it was hears it before they feel it, and then that's a problem. Yeah. He was able to walk around, jog, take his free throws. He was. If anything, I would probably call it. You can't call an ACL tear minor, but as minor as an ACL tear could be, that's pretty much what he had. So Clay's going to be just fine. I mean, shit.
And it's not an Achilles. It's not an Achilles injury either.
Right, and they waited 2.5 weeks to have surgery after the thing. Normally, it's like a couple days. I'm not convinced that it's something that's going to slow him down too much.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Sean says, I'm not convinced that LBJ and AD are a good pair. We already seen how AD and Cousins played together. The Pelicans look better when Cousins got hurt. I think the Lakers are overhyped. Mike Hawthorne says LBJ and Boogie are two totally different players. I have no idea how you came to that opinion. I agree with the opinion that Sean has personally. I'm not sure. Like a lot of people said, oh, well, LeBron's already played with Kevin Love and he knows how to play with a big man. It's a totally different big man that he's getting. Now he's getting two of them that are totally different than Boogie's more like a Kevin Love is now. Going to be a little bit slower, not a big high flyer. He can shoot the ball. But you're adding AD into the mix. That is a totally different two-headed monster that they're building in LA. I'm just not sure that they have three guys there now, depending on where they play Boogie, that are ball magnets. They want the ball in their hands, and
I was just going to say the same thing.
Very interesting to see how they manage that dynamic.
Yeah.
Michael Darnell says that's been our strength since the high pick and roll since Kerr. I agree. I believe, and I forget where I heard it from, that Rondo is joining AD and Cousins on the Lakers. That's three Kentucky guys on one team. The Kentucky guy stuff doesn't make a difference. Rondo is back with the Lakers. I know you specifically said with LeBron. Okay. I'm kind of excited on how Kings will prove the doubters wrong. We are so damn underrated. The Kings roster this year is going to be different. That's for sure. Barnbom put a graphic up on the Russ Westbrook thing, and I don't know where NBA TV got their shit, but they're fucking stupid. So NBA TV, Mike said he got this while he was watching the playoff game again, or the Summer League game last night against the Chinese team. They have like half the roster right, half the roster wrong. I don't know where they pulled their information from, but right now the Kings roster, they have for guards, you're looking at Corey Joseph, Buddy Hield, De'Aaron Fox, Yogi Ferrell, Kyle Guy, and Justin James both are going to be on rookie deals or on two-way deals, and Vanya Markonovic is going to be in Europe. Although he looked pretty good in some of the footage I watched, but he's going to be in Europe. Forwards: Ariza, Bagley, Barnes, Bielisa, Bogdanovic. And then they have BJ Johnson, Wayne Gabriel, and Cody Dems all showing as rookie deals. Cody Dems isn't even in the situation right now. BJ Johnson, I think, is going to be in Stockton for sure. And then Wayne Gabriel is working his way into possibly filling that Corey Brewer role.
Right.
And then for centers, Caleb Swanigan needs to be gone. That dude is talk about out of shape. They still show Kosta Koufos on the roster, which isn't the case. Rashawn Holmes is another guy that Vlade signed late, which I think is going to be a good deal. Harry Giles, and then Willie Cauley-Stein. So I don't know where NBA TV is getting their information from, but
do they not have Bagley? I didn't hear you say Bagley's name.
Bagley's on there.
Are
we going to sign Dedmon, or do we agree on something that we can't follow through with? No, they'll be. Kings fans, man, they hurt my head so bad. Dempsey's playing Summer League for the Pacers. Good for Cody. I hope he makes the league. I hope he makes it somewhere.
Yeah, I do too.
Gonna be a fun season. Knicks underrated, more like disrespected. The Bucks just signed the Greek Freak's little brother. Great. Now we have two of those guys fucking running around. The NBA, I think for the first time in a long time, is TJ Capri. You may be in better shape than Caleb Swanigan. I'm in the opinion that the Clippers will finish better than the Lakers, thanks in large part to the Kawhi factor, even though they will both be playoff teams. Are you two on the same thought? We already said that. I've already said that the Clippers are basically the team to beat, I think, right now in the West. The Lakers are going to be in a close second, and I still think the Warriors somehow are going to be one of those teams that they don't go away, and they're not going to go away. Steve Kerr is slowly developing his teams into the new Popovich ran organization. Yeah. You just cannot count them out. Which I think is fine. And like I said earlier, I'm really, really hoping that this persuades the league to change the playoff format, because there are going to be a lot. There are going to be a lot of better teams in the West that don't make the playoffs, while teams like,
Orlando.
Yeah. Orlando is going to be like 41 or 38 and whatever it would be, 42, and be an 8 seed, and the Kings are out of the playoffs at 46 wins, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. The NBA has to fix it. The good thing is though that Adam Silver is very forward thinking when it comes to things like that, and he's not afraid to just throw things in. There was talks about the challenge flag, basically, like a challenge flag in the NBA.
Right.
Like, oh, we're thinking about using it. Boom! It was in the playoff. It was in the summer league already. They were using it at California Classic, and it's like, oh, well, that was quick and under the rug. Like it's already implemented. So I think he'll do that. Mike, I'll give this one to you. Or I'm sorry, Greg, I'll give this one to you from Mike. Can you give a quick 20-second opinion on the Knicks organization not wanting to pursue KD because of his injury?
I'm going to come across probably pretty surprisingly as I agree with him. I'm not sure that you give KD a max contract based on that injury itself. If it was a knee and he was going to be out 6 months, I'd say yeah. Ultimately, you really have to, but I don't question your thinking about it. I question them not ending up pulling the trigger on the max contract. But you got it.
Get to that.
What's that?
When you're done, I'm playing devil's advocate to that.
Okay, go ahead. I was just going to say, you have to be careful. You have to look at it and show me a player that's come back as good as they were before an Achilles injury. It hasn't happened. We've seen it with take Cousins. Okay, Cousins is in his second year now of recouping from that. Yep. Or will be in his second year. The whole first year he wasn't Cousins. The benefit that Durant has is he could end up being a spot-up shooter and somebody that plays in the perimeter. But for anybody to expect the Kevin Durant of this last couple of years to come back after this, especially, after only a season off, I think it's a pipe dream. So as bad as I think the Knicks are as an organization, I think I kind of see where they're coming from on this.
I'm on the opposite side of the fence with you.
Okay.
KD, you compared KD to Cousins coming back from an Achilles. KD's going to recover a lot quicker than Cousins is coming back from an Achilles injury, simply for the fact that he doesn't have the weight and the structure that those legs have to carry. He'll bounce back. Look how good Richard Sherman was when he came back. He was slow to begin with, and after a couple weeks of conditioning, Richard Sherman looked like Richard Sherman of old. He had a couple moments where it lapsed, and that's bound to happen with his age. But I think KD is going to be just fine. As far as the Knicks coming out and say, oh, well, we didn't feel comfortable pursuing him because of his injury, that's about as full of shit as I've ever heard somebody. That to me is worse. That to me is worse than those videos of little kids you see with chocolate all over their face that say, I didn't eat the chocolate. Like, the chocolate's all over your fucking face and hands. Dolan is full of shit. It's coming out of ears, nose, mouth, asshole, everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worst owner in sports.
1-2-0 final World Cup champions. Yep. The Knicks pursued Kevin Durant about as hard as a Bill Cosby chasing after a roofied girl at the club. Okay. They tried and tried and tried and tried. And when KD kept ignoring the phone calls, they went, nah, we didn't want him that hard anyways. That's like when you're trying to date a chick and, she keep getting denied, but what happened? I changed my mind.
I didn't like her anyway.
She wasn't as hot as I thought she was. The Knicks are completely full of shit. Nobody wants to go there. That's why Kyrie didn't sign there. That's why KD didn't sign there. But their big signing was Julius Randle at 3 years and $63 million. That was not their plan A. And for them to say anything different is completely horseshit. And like I said, I guarantee you they went after him hard, and he just shunned them. The Knicks are the new Sacramento Kings in free agency. Nobody wants to play for the Knicks. Dolan is turning into a Maloof. End of story. So while they're saying, yeah, but by them saying that they didn't actually go after him, no chance in hell. They're full of it. They just got egg on their face, and they wanted to try to save face as best as possible. It just didn't work. Are the Nets and Bucks the teams to beat from the East? The Nets will be next year, not this year. I think you have the Sixers. I think you have the Bucks. Miami might be a team to look at a little bit, not terribly. Boston, you can't count out. Even losing Kyrie, I think Kemba Walker comes in and brings a whole new dynamic to Boston. Yeah, I don't think the Nets are there yet though. A part of the Iggy trade, we got back a small forward in Washburn from Memphis. That's going to be interesting to watch what Memphis does with Andre Iguodala.
Right.
Originally, though, the initial thought was he wanted a buyout. He's going to buy him out, or they're going to buy him out, and he's going to go sign with the Lakers. That went away. They said, no, we're going to go ahead and see if we can trade him instead, which I think is smart. And then they went out and traded like 40 other people. Memphis is making moves for sure. So it's going to be crazy. Let's see here. This will be interesting. Updated 2019 NBA win projections after the LA Madness. So this is the thing that I think you saw. The Kings at 34 wins.
Yeah.
They have the Houston at 53, Golden State at 50, the Clippers at 48, Denver at 48, the Lakers at 46, Utah and the Pelicans at 47, 46, Oklahoma City at 43. There's no way Oklahoma City wins almost 10 games more than Sacramento this season. No chance in hell. Portland falling to 42 wins. Portland didn't get worse. They got better in this offseason. They locked up Dame. They made that trade to get who did they trade for? They got a big I'm drawing a blank on who they got, but they got better. Dallas, maybe. Minnesota's fallen off. Phoenix is down. Memphis isn't going to be that bad. That's insanity. I do like the fact they have the Knicks at 29 wins, though. That makes me happy. Cleveland at 25. Charlotte falling down to 28 wins. Talk about a fucking fall off.
Right.
That happens just by losing Kemba. Oh, they got Whiteside. That's who it was. Portland. If just losing Kemba and a few other little auxiliary pieces caused them to drop from the playoffs to 28 wins, that's going to be like a catastrophic implosion.
Right.
But yeah, that whole list of wins and losses is fucking. I don't know who Jacob Goldstein is, but he needs to stop drinking whatever he's drinking in that profile picture of his. Yeah, it'll be crazy. I'm looking forward to it though. Like I said, there's finally parity. It's not just, hey, look, we're gonna have the Warriors and whoever last year was whoever LeBron played for. Warriors and Toronto's gonna fall off now. The East is gonna be. I think the East, other than those top two teams, are gonna be wide the fuck open.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Mike. That whoever did that. If I see any Clipper jerseys at school, automatic mile day for them. Oscar, I love you. You're the man. More importantly, if it's a Kawhi Clipper jersey, like I would say, if it's like a Chris Paul, a DeAndre Jordan, JJ Redick, like there might be like the ability to maybe do a half mile. But if it's shiny, it's new, it's got Paul George or Kawhi on it, they run for a week. Mike Hawthorne shows how much Terry Rozier won't mean much to the Hornets if they drop 25 wins. Yeah, for sure. What do you think about the small move about the Bucks adding Giannis's brother? I really don't know much about Giannis's brother.
I don't know either.
If he's anything like his brother, then they're a fucking genius for signing him. Mark Spears is reporting that Russ Westbrook now is requesting basically to get out of OKC. Russell Westbrook has been grumbling about Thunder struggles, may want out. This is from Mark Spears at Clutch Points. According to sources, since George Westbrook and the Thunder suffered a disappointing first-round exit in the playoffs in April, Westbrook has been quietly grumbling about the team's struggles and may want out. George, meanwhile, beat him to the punch. George asked his agent to tell the Thunder general manager Sam Presti not only that he was requested to trade, but that he also wanted to join forces with Kawhi Leonard. Damn. That just and that right there is further proof where it's like, hey, I want out of your organization, but you're only going to trade me wherever Kawhi goes. So sit back and wait. Don't even pick up the phone. You just wait. And then once Kawhi does something, we're going to make it happen.
I would have sent him to fucking
Orlando.
Yeah. I mean, shut up, Westbrook.
Send him to the Knicks.
And for all those guys that are doing nothing but we need to go after Westbrook, do you really want somebody like that messing the chemistry up of this team? Even, I mean, yeah, he reminds me of a faster, oh shit, I just blanked on his name, Rondo, where he's all about stats. He doesn't really make anybody better, but he gets his assists, he gets his rebounds, he gets his points, but he's not bringing anybody up. He's not making anybody better. And you know, why would you want somebody in here that's going to do, and you trade him to Sacramento, do you think he's going to be happy? He's going to do nothing but bitch and moan the whole time. So God, just get out of here with that shit.
You know, there's some other things that we forgot to mention. You know, the Pelicans got much better with Zion, with Lonzo, with all the Lakers players. They also got JJ Redick. The Pelicans are going to be a team in the playoffs that we have to worry about for the Kings.
Yep.
Dallas locked up Porzingis. They're going to have Porzingis back now with Luka and some other moves that they made. The West is going to be fucking ridiculous, man. It's going to be insanity, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, it's going to just.
Can you imagine what those guys are going to be saying if the Kings win 44 or 45 games and don't make the playoffs? Those stupid Facebook pages are just going to be nothing but must-read TV.
Right. Yeah, Sean, you hit the nail on the head. Then they try to say that there's no tampering going on in the NBA.
Yeah, right.
So we didn't go over what Oklahoma City got for Paul George, and it's fucking absurd.
Oh, yeah.
So they got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who I think is going to be a very good player. The Jazz did get better too with what Conley and everybody got. Then there's they got Gallinari. Then they got a 2020 first-round unprotected pick from Miami, a 2022 LA Clippers first-round unprotected, 2023 Miami first-round lottery protected. The Clippers and Thunder are going to swap first-round picks in 2023, depending on who's got a worse pick. 2024 LA first-round unprotected, 2025 first-round pick swap, 2026 LA first unprotected. I didn't know that you could trade that many draft picks.
Well, I thought it was you couldn't trade a first rounder 2 years in a row, right?
Which they didn't.
No, and they got around it by swapping picks.
Yep.
So what's that? 5 first rounders?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 first rounders. They're all first round picks. No second rounders in there.
That's crazy. I mean, that's mortgaging the future, and it's going to take that much for us to get a Westbrook. And why would you? I don't know. I'm stuck on that, on keeping Westbrook out of Sacramento. But
yeah, Barnbaum says I don't want Westbrook in Sacramento under any circumstance. Security. And then Michael Darnell said, you know, what do you mean, Mike? What happened? It's Barnbaum is banking off the fact that people yell derogatory terms at Westbrook and he gets upset about it, so he thinks that's just going to come to Sacramento. Got to put our big boy pants on and best the best to be the best. 100%.
I think he means beat the best to be the best.
You could best the best. It's the same.
That's the best.
Same idea. It's going to be one of those things where it's going to be fun to watch. Football's getting close to being back. Looks like it's going to be fun. That's going to be coming up soon.
Camps open up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's going to be back pretty quickly. We talked about the NBA trade deadline is going to be very interesting to see what our Major League Baseball trade deadline is going to be. See how that works out for the Giants and A's and what other team are going to be. 32 days away till game day for football. Not just camp. 32 days for the first preseason games.
Wow.
So football is back quickly. It's gonna be fun. Sports are coming back around. I can't wait. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Mr. Baroza, before we end this show today?
No, I think we covered most everything I wanted to talk about.
All right. Well, we definitely appreciate everyone that was in the chat box today and listening live. That was a Herschel Walker trade cabinet. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Barn Bomb, Greg Bull hit the nail on the head in regards to my Westbrook comment. Keep Westbrook out of Sacramento no matter what the team he is on. He needs to leave the league. Mike, you need to leave the league. Mike, you just need to.
Don't leave, Mike. Don't leave, Mike. We need you around.
Team USA wins their second. We already mentioned it. Wins their second World Cup in a row. Congrats to them. And a lot going on. The Niners and I have a feeling after the preseason games are played, they make a play for one of the safeties. I can see that happening. I still think the Niners secretly are in talks with. I still think Shanahan is in talks with Atlanta to try to get either Mohamed Sanu or Julio out of Atlanta. I think he wants his big receiver so bad, and he's going to give up a lot to try to get him.
Ugh.
So that'll be interesting.
Nobody cares, Mike.
Japan's up 1-0 on the softball World Cup. If anyone cares, why not?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you care about that? It's USA, man. I won't leave. Thank you for your support. So cool. All right, guys. This was episode 285. We appreciate all of you guys. It'll be up on iTunes and Spotify and Google Play forever soon. If any of you guys could hop on over there, subscribe, leave a comment, 5-star rating if you feel it's appropriate. We've been climbing up the iTunes charts relatively steadily in the last couple of weeks, and if we can get some reviews and some comments on there, it'll up even more. So if you're capable of doing that for us, that would be fantastic. And
please,
guys. So for Greg Baroza, I am Greg Bowl, and we will see you guys all next week.
Night, Larry.